So we have our table with some columns and we want to insert some rows. We can do that using the panel here, which using our descriptions provides us easy formats for filling in the data. It also provides us with context for how we enter our date. Um, so to insert rows via SQL, we want to head to the SQL tab and open the Query tab. You can see here, this is the basic syntax for adding rows to a table. So you can see we're inserting into flights, and it's important to have the correct uppercase or lowercase on your flights, or your table in this case. So we're inserting into flights, and then we include these are the column names, if you remember from before. These column names here, we have from, to, departure date, has departed. Um, they're the only ones that we're modifying here. Because the ID is auto-generated, it will automatically increment for each new one that you enter, thus giving it a unique ID. So we're saying insert into the flights the columns from to departure date has departed with the values LAX, TFS. The date, which has to be swapped around depending, because it's a specific date type that it's looking for, which remember you could see if you click the add row button on the table view. And then we're setting it to false here for the has departed because we don't want it to be generated and also departed. So we're going to run that, and we can see that we're getting a problem here with our from. As you can see in our table, we do have the from column. However, in SQL, I'm fairly certain from is a reserved keyword, meaning that this isn't going to be available for us to query on. So we might need to change the from look, and in this case, we may as well change the to because that is going to be, we want it to be consistent, the two values, and they mirror each other. So we'll change from to underscore from underscore location here, and to modify that in the table is quite simple. You just edit column from underscore location. This will automatically migrate and update in real time. You see it's pushed it back to the back there. We're just going to edit to mirror this to be to location also. And then what you can do if you, because the query expects it in a structured format, meaning that it's got to come in a specific order, when you change these things, it's going to push these to the back. You can just drag them to the front again and it should work just fine. So there we have our original layout. Our next problem is the flights. We want most tables, at least in my experience, generally you want them to be lowercase, the first letter of the database. I intentionally made it uppercase in this case, so I could show you that changing the name of the table is as simple as that. So now that we've got all this in place, we want to see if this will actually insert appropriately into the data. Remember to change the table name here to mirror the lowercase in the original, and we should return with no problems. So if we want to see our results, we can do that programmatically by using Postgres. And we want to select all from flights. If we run this, we can see our data here. If we come back to the table editor, we can also see it in view here. These are, as I understand, editable via the UI here, which makes sense. These will all update and affect other things, but that's the gist of the query table. You can have multiple queries open if you want to. It doesn't really matter, and it'll save your previous queries. So what I like to do is have a bunch of queries that I've already done. So I might save my insert into query so I can remember it later should I need to remember the format. And you can just have multiple of these open, as many as you like. So I just keep them depending on if I want to use them. I think you can also name them. Yeah, so I could rename this one, select all, and then I could rename this one basic insert row. And you get the gist. Anything else, just let me know. Thanks.